day, everyone. I had a bit of an adventure last night with the 54 Meteor. I took it for a test drive just on the back roads around here, and everything went real well, and then it ran out of gas. But I'd kept a jerry can in the trunk full of gas. I opened the trunk, I took the gas can out at some point. So my dad happened to call me roughly at that time, and he was actually waiting in my driveway for me, thinking I was here. So I said, can you come and help me? So he grabbed the gas can from the garage and he met me there, and we got the car going. So we start driving, and I had to cross a railroad track that I've crossed millions of times in my life and numerous times in that car, and I lost a hubcap. Now, if you remember the Going North series, I've had a hubcap fall off before, and you know, you don't really know what direction they're going to roll, and this was in the dark. So I searched last night for that hubcap for almost an hour, and I could not find it. But it was dark, and I had a bright flashlight with me. Couldn't find it. So I'm going to go back today. Now, this hubcap is a one of a kind. I'm going to show you a close-up of it. So that's the hubcap. That's one of them, and they are a Meteor only emblem in the center there. That kind of looks like a star going in a swirl, you know, in an orbit or whatever. Anyways, I gotta go find that hubcap because I've looked on eBay for ever since I bought this car, and I cannot find extra hubcaps at all. I'm gonna head out right now. It's only about 3 minutes from my house, so I'm gonna drive over there and I'm gonna have a look and see if I can find it. Now, when I ran out of gas last night, it actually wasn't out of gas. It was very low, but the fuel filter had plugged up. Let me see if I can find it here. So I put an extra fuel filter. Here's a brand new one. Okay, that's what it should look like. Now, I had cleaned that tank out, but I knew there was a little tiny bit of rust in there that I couldn't get out myself. This is what happened to the filter that was in it. It was sitting at this angle. It's hard for me to hold that right. Anyways, that is rust from inside the tank. And so it's actually quite heavy compared to this one. Now, I had a spare filter, like another filter that was new. And so I put it on the car, and we got it started by putting gas down the carburetor. But it would only run a short distance, and then it would stop again. And so I thought the fuel pump was going bad, but what I think it is, there's another filter in the fuel pump, and I think that is plugging up. It might be that these new filters don't quite filter as good as the original one in the vehicle. So, and the one in the vehicle looks cleanable. It's in a glass sediment bowl. It's really cool. A lot of the old vehicles, tractors, all that have a sediment bowl for a filter. So anyways, that's what's going on with the car. I'll fix that later. It's not a big deal, but I got to go find that hubcap. Well, I'm going to take my truck today. I don't drive it very much. It's mainly just, you know, I go to the dump every 2 weeks. Us acreage owners, we have to take care of our own garbage. So I use it for that. I use it for hauling the boat and, you know, truck stuff. But it doesn't get used that much, which is fine. My previous truck, I drove it for 24 years. My son's now driving it. It survived the beater challenge, which is really cool. So this is how I keep my trucks for a long time. I don't drive them a lot, but I try and drive it at least every 2 weeks, but ideally once a week, just to keep everything going, because I know from experience leaving a vehicle sit is a really bad thing. That's worse than miling it out, really, in a lot of ways. So heading off to where the railroad tracks are, see if we can find that hubcap. So I'm just pulling up on the railroad tracks. I don't see it in the daylight, but I'm obviously gonna have to walk around and look. I'm gonna park here. On a bit of a hill here. Okay, let's go grab a look here. So, those are the tracks. I was headed this way, and I stopped over there on that driveway. Now last night I looked through all of this and all down here. Now this is really steep here, so I'm worried that it went way down there. But I have a feeling it rolled farther down the road than I thought. And I didn't look into the trees down there. So let's go grab a look-see. I looked through all of this. Now I didn't walk into those trees. I'm hoping it wouldn't have gone very far in there. The grass and trees would have stopped it, I would think. But I went all the way up to there and I didn't see anything. But we'll see what is in these trees. It is really hard to see the underbrush. I'm gonna walk over there. There's some fresh dog turd right there. That was not there last night because I almost stepped on that thing last night. I didn't see that. I'm hoping it's in these trees somewhere. I wonder if I should walk through here a bit. Again, I don't know how fast a hubcap rolls and how far they can go. This is quite far from the tracks, so closer to the tracks. Just see in this thicket here. Maybe I should walk through this and see. I'm gonna walk through it off camera. It'll be tough to film that. I cannot see a darn thing in here. I can't see it going through all this underbrush. Bikes out today. Weather's supposed to be nice, supposed to be 21 Celsius, or I think that's about 70 Fahrenheit. Should be a nice day. You know, it is hard to see. Like this white garbage bag, I didn't see it until I was right on top of it. So I'm gonna have a hard time finding this hubcap if it's out here. Dang. You would think it would be in this area. But I went through this last night with a fine-tooth comb. I'm going to try again now because it is daylight. All the locals really slow down on this crossing. I'm not necessarily local to this railroad crossing, but maybe other people have had issues. I found lots of this last night. There's numerous vodka bottles around here. Somebody's got a bit of an addiction. See, here's another one. Whoa, I just about fell. And I walked all the way down here. I'll do it again. Oh man, this is kind of weird. There's a bunch of chairs and some kind of a kid's toboggan. Huh. Interesting spot. Oh, look at that. Somebody built like a teepee. Couldn't see this last night, obviously, in the dark. I'm just off the trail there. I'm gonna go back. Still not seeing anything. I'm rooting around in the bush. That building there, I don't know if you can see it. That's a rural church. I don't think anyone's there at the moment. I can't see that hubcap coming this far. Oh. Some kind of a structure over there. Check it out. it's just one of those chairs. Huh. Still don't see anything. I'm gonna check. I'm pretty far from the crossing, and I stopped around here. The car stopped here last night. I mean, I'm probably 400 feet from there. I'm gonna check down here. I didn't look over here last night. There's like a firewood guy here. Here's a culvert. You'd think a bright chrome hubcap would be. Would you look at that? I think that's it. Look at where it rolled. That is a beautiful thing, folks. There is not a scratch on it. Not even on the rim. Look how far that rolled. I'm gonna have to map this out on Google Earth later. That is crazy. And it rolled, it rolled to the passenger side. I am super pumped. I can't believe I found it. Holy, there's a little dent there. That might have been there before. But, well, that couldn't have turned out better. I was pretty worried. Man, oh man. I can't believe I found it. And I can't believe how far that rolled. Crazy far. I'm gonna measure it out on Google Earth and maybe I'll post the actual distance here. It went pretty straight for a long time and then it rolled off. I can't believe I found it. Unreal. I'm just waiting for traffic to clear here. It's busy right now. What's the problem? The e-brake isn't all the way up. Okay, go buddy. Man, people slow down to like 5K on that crossing. Maybe that's a hint. I hit it at about 40 miles an hour. Probably less, probably more like 30, 35, which is like 50 kilometers an hour. And it took that hubcap off. And I've driven across it faster with that car. I've driven across at like 80 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. So about 50 miles an hour, no problem. I can't believe it went all the way into there. Amazing. So I just want to say before we go, I was looking in absolutely the wrong spot for this hubcap. It went farther than I thought, and it turned in the opposite direction that I would have thought. Being that it was on the driver's side, I thought it would have gone left. But I guess the heavy side of the hubcap is this way, so it would have curved that way eventually. I can't believe it. And I spent all that time last night. If I just would have walked another 200 feet, I would have seen it because I had a really bright flashlight. But I was concerned that I thought someone lived where that firewood business is. No one lives there. But I did hear the gate close while I was there, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. They have an electric gate. So that kind of spooked me from going any farther. I just didn't want to disturb somebody or make them think I'm stealing or scoping the place out. Anyways, super happy I found it. So back to in the truck. Okay, well, that's it for the hubcap hunt. I'm relieved. So once again, thanks everyone for your support. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. It helps a lot. And ring the bell so you get notified when new episodes come up. So stay tuned and we'll see you next time.